Oh
I've
man,
had a
remember
couple.
the they were like blazing something like that, or
Blazing
no,
buffalo.
they had
wings?
different ones.
Yo-yos?
Blazing
Yeah.
buffalo
Brain.
wings.
No, I don't know.
If you open your
Maybe.
gift,
You
it's
know,
just an
the
old,
ones that you just
crusty,
throw
cold
down and
buffalo
they just
wing.
stand there, and then they just come up by themselves. Fireball.
It sounds familiar, but I'm not sure.
Yeah,
So-
they have
so
buffalo wings
they-
for Christmas.
So they had these special yo-yos
Yeah.
that like each one will be like one's fireball where you just it goes down pretty fast and you
No, I know.
do tricks
I think I know what
pretty
you're
easy.
talking about now.
And then the brain one was just there, just standing there, and it comes back up by itself. Welcome to another podcast with Bored with the Boys. Again, the same group, same people, same time, same things. Same
We'll say not same things. Hopefully, we have new topics.
Same things.
Yeah, we don't want to be talking about the same things
Yeah.
all the time.
On this episode, we're just gonna go back and re-talk about every other episode that we already talked about.
A review.
Yeah, review our own videos.
Yeah.
They probably
Or
are bad if we
We'll go back in time a little bit and discuss a little bit about Christmas. Christmas is coming up in like a week and a half.
Boo.
So
You say boo?
You see
Let's
there,
dig
Brian's
into
not
that a little bit,
jar
It's a
Brian.
week and a half. Oh God.
Yeah, it's
Not ready for
basically
this.
a week from this coming Thursday
Ugh.
or Friday or
Well,
something
this
like that.
podcast will probably be released till next week.
Yeah, hopefully this comes out around the Christmas time. But yeah, we want to take a couple minutes to talk a little bit about Christmas.
Ugh.
Obviously Christmas for us now as adults is different for us when we were kids. So like growing up, what was like kind of one of the core things that you remember about Christmas, whether it was like something you got or like a tradition that you did, like what was like, if you think back to like when you were like 10 or whatever, like what's the first thing about Christmas that like pops into your mind?
Gifts.
Snow.
Snow. All right, Tim.
Yeah.
I guess.
Tim hates
I don't know.
Christmas.
No, I don't know if it was like 10 or so.
Well,
but
just
it's
like
more the-
average age.
our family Halloween. Yeah, Halloween party.
Halloween.
our family Christmas.
Family
party.
Halloween party. We weren't a very traditional family.
Yeah, no, but like every Christmas, we used to do on Christmas Eve, but it's gotten harder when like families get bigger and stuff happens. But it would just be like all my cousins and stuff, and like aunts, uncles would all meet at one of our houses. We would like each year we would rotate the houses, and on Christmas Eve we would all like go and see each other and like have everyone make food and stuff. And I would always look forward to that because like I don't get to see my cousins a whole lot, so I would always
Isn't
love that.
more Thanksgiving more bigger like family time than Christmas?
No, Christmas
It
is
It
always
depends on
I
the
mean,
family.
yeah. It depends on the
Yeah.
family what your traditions are. Yeah, Christmas for me was always bigger than Thanksgiving
Yeah,
because there was like
it's
more
been the
to it
opposite.
versus just like the dinner. Christmas is like a gift
Mhm.
exchange and stuff like that.
Yankee swap, gift exchange,
Yeah.
or just opening presents.
Yeah,
I guess you could open a turkey on Thanksgiving.
Mom always gives me the gifts and like, now you got your gift. Now shut up.
Wow.
I mean, my mom wasn't far from the same thing.
I mean, so
Sorry, Mom.
So for you specifically, Christian, did you ever have a Christmas that was like bigger than just like your mom and your brother and stuff? Like, did you ever have like
No,
family
I
or
don't-
anything?
The thing is, like, most of my family is on my dad's side because he has a lot of brothers and sisters. My
Yeah.
mom only has one sister, so we basically hanging out with most of their family when I was younger, and we didn't have as big like everyone else's, but we had a decent size.
You did like a Christmas day at your house or at their house or something? Or?
Sometimes we just go back and forth. It all depends on how my family feels in that year. But
Gotcha. Yeah, I feel like
yeah.
I was gonna say like I feel like what Tim brought up is interesting too because it's like I was just thinking like I feel like we're in like a transition period, at least like us as far as like the whole family thing goes. Because like when I was younger, same thing. Like we would have like Christmas parties at like my uncle's house or something, and there'd be like 20, 30 people there, and then like it just slowly like each of the individual families are separating off, and those families
Those
are getting
families got bigger.
yeah, like those families are getting bigger. So it's like us, it's like, okay, we're starting to have kids. So we're not seeing like our aunts and uncles and our cousins, but we're starting to see like our siblings more because they have like, you know, nieces and nephews. So it's like the individual groups got bigger, then they each split off. And now each one of those groups is slowly expanding. So it's like for Christmas, I see like my parents and my sisters. And then I see like, you know, like Tim and Michelle's like immediate family, but then like that's it. We don't see like that next layer, and I feel like we're in like that transition period where it's like it feels like we stop seeing everybody, but at the same time, like all of our kids are going through what we're talking about, where they're getting all their aunts and uncles and
Yeah.
their cousins.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it seems weird for us, but it's
Yeah.
like as the adults, we're seeing it like happen for them. So it's like we've removed ourselves from like the big parties, and now it's like the kids are the ones that have the big parties, even though it's like the same day and event that we're having. It's like it's funny when you think about like the transition, because you just think of it in your own perspective, like, oh, I don't have these parties anymore, but it's like what you're remembering is like what the kids are having now. So I feel like it's like that transition period where we all have like these young kids and like they're experiencing all their cousins and all their aunts and uncles. You know what I mean?
It's so
like,
weird seeing like you see your kids run around, and then you're like, man, I was in that same position where I was running around shooting Nerf guns, hitting, bothering my niece, my cousins, and my brothers, just like knowing them all around, just like taking their gifts and stuff.
Yeah, it just sort of like happens. It just switches where it's like you all of a sudden like are watching the kids have their Christmas versus like you being in like the main center of the Christmas. Like you start getting less gifts versus what you give out the gifts kind of thing.
So kind of what you said, Scott, like seeing your aunts and uncles when you were younger, and now you're seeing like your cousins and sisters and brothers and all that stuff.
Yeah.
For me, what my family did was, or at least my mom's side, we would go to my aunt's house like the weekend before Christmas, just so we could see like, that family.
Yeah.
And then on Christmas Day, I would hang out with my dad. We'd go see like some of his side, and then I'd come back and spend it with my mom and grandmother and all that stuff. So I kind of got a little bit of both sides of the family, like one a weekend before Christmas, the other on Christmas. So it was kind of good in a way.
Yeah, I feel like, I mean, my stories are going to be similar to Tim's, at least for the last like 15 years. But like, a long time ago, it was like you split like Christmas Eve, Christmas Day. And then both of those days, at least like from my perspective, was like crazy. I was going like 3 different houses both days. And like, we'd go to like Tim's family like on Christmas Eve. But then I would try to do my family before that and then split the day. But then like as that got a little harder, like for people to try to hold on to that whole like scenario, we would like, oh, let's move it to a different day. So like there was a few years that we did like, what Tim was describing, like at his aunt's house or his uncle's house or whatever, on like the weekend before. And we did that for a couple of years. And then like, that started breaking off too. But like, I feel like people are starting to do that more. Or like the month of December basically is like, you split it up so that way like the days aren't as like ridiculous.
So how does it feel like now that since we're all adults that we have to like get gifts instead of ones when we were younger receiving it and not like giving something back?
I mean, I think when you have a kid, it changes a little bit because like it's way better to like watch a kid open a gift than it is to like get a random gift. But also because like once you become an adult, it's like everything I want, I just get for the most part. You know what I mean? Not like not like cars and stuff like that, but like
GameCube. I'll like, buy myself a GameCube.
That's the thing. You want a game or you want like a piece for your computer or anything.
You don't have to wait till Christmas.
Yeah, you just straight up get it. Especially now with like Amazon, it's like it's so easy just to get anything you want whenever you want. So it's like even like now, it's like people are like, oh, you want something for Christmas? I want to give an idea to this person. I was like, I have no idea. Like I have everything I want. Everything I do want is like in the thousands.
I just say money.
Yeah, give me like a money or a gift card or something. So I feel like it's both. It's like liking, like you like seeing like the younger kids and stuff get gifts because like you like seeing them excited, but it's also like you just don't want anything. So it's like if someone were to like try to surprise me with some random thing, it'd be like, oh, I don't really even want that. So it's like a combination of both. But even if you don't have kids, like even for Tim, like him giving a gift to like his nieces and nephews and stuff like that, like you like seeing them open stuff, and at the same time it's like, what I mean, like what would somebody give you that's like within gift price range that would like make you crazy? Like probably nothing. Like there's nothing like under $50 that would be like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the best gifts you got, not necessarily like specific items, just in generalized, and then also talk about like, I guess the worst gifts. So for me, the best gifts when I was younger, obviously was like a new console when it came out, or like video games I really wanted, or I don't remember. That was a long time ago. Damn.
I mean, should we all just say like some sort of console probably was like the pinnacle.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, that was always like the biggest thing because they always come
Yeah.
out around like
Yeah.
Christmas time. They like November. They always come out like November-ish. So
Yeah.
you would always ask for that.
The one I
That
remember
the
was
biggest
a
thing.
Dreamcast. I think after Dreamcast, I bought them
Oh.
all myself. But like the Dreamcast itself was like
Jeez.
I got that for Christmas, and that was like, oh man, that like set me off for like gaming stuff. After that, like I said, I'm pretty sure I bought them all myself. But like that one for me was like a big memorable one, just because of like how much you actually use it.
Mm.
Well, for me,
What about you, Christian?
Well, for me, it was well, obviously, I get consoles with like almost every Christmas when I was younger, but like I would like to go
Obviously.
back to the first one. The first one I ever owned myself was Super Nintendo. And my grandma, when I was over my grandma's house in was it I'm trying to remember the place.
What?
Here.
Like her house, her physical house.
No, the
do
area.
you
Nah,
mean?
I'll remember. But anyways, I was at my grandma's
Uganda.
house. I was at my grandma's house, and then she had this big Christmas tree and whatnot. It was like real, and she had these
Like
lights
Wendell?
and stuff. And then I was looking at this gift that was on the tree, and I was like, "What is
I was
this?"
thinking the same thing.
And then like all of a sudden,
It jumped.
my
It
grandma's
popped out.
like, "Here, this is yours," and I'm like, "What?" And then I open it up, and it was like a Super Nintendo with Spider-Man and X-Men,
Nice.
which is like one of my favorite like shows that I was watching when I was younger, which was a pretty cool gift. Plugging it into the RCA TV with the old school, like, was it the coaxial
Yeah, you
cable?
gotta spin them. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, meh.
I feel like it's hard now for like kids because like oh, I want a console for Christmas. It's like, oh, you want like a fucking $700 PlayStation 5 or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Well, obviously they have cheaper ones, but I feel like it's harder to get kids like these things now because they're super expensive and they're more accessible. Like everybody has them.
I was just saying they're very popular though too, so it's hard
Yeah.
sometimes. Like PlayStation, there's like I don't know you can get them right now. Like so many
Yeah.
stores are sold out and they don't even know when they're even gonna get
Yeah.
more.
Like when I was a kid, when I got the Dreamcast, like I didn't know a single other person that had one. You know what I mean? Because it was like I feel like it was more rare to get consoles and stuff back then versus like now it's just like every single person has a new console.
Mhm.
So like
Yeah.
the worth of it becomes not less. Obviously, it's still what it is, but it's like, oh, you got a PlayStation. Oh, okay, so does every other kid in the
Yeah.
planet. But it's
So-
like back in the day, it's like, oh, you got like a PlayStation 1. Like, holy crap, that's like nobody has that.
Mhm.
The funny thing is, like, every time when I get like a say a Super Nintendo, my brother will get the opposite. He will get a Sega. So we always get the different
That's cool,
console
though.
every year, so we can just play like each game that
Did you
doesn't even come out.
choose that, or was that just something that like your family decided for you?
The first one, no, yeah, it was mostly me and my brother what we decided what we wanted, and then they will get it for us.
You like strategically planned it so that
Yeah.
you guys got as much as you could together.
Yeah, so we
That-
won't have to fight over
awesome,
because
yeah. It works. I was the only boy in my family, so it's like most of the things I wanted were not like shareable things.
You got like dresses and shit.
get the Barbie doll.
Like, can I share your Barbies? I'll let you play my Dreamcast.
It's a fair trade.
Yeah. Although I'm pretty sure like the Dreamcast when they gave it to us, they were like, "This is for all of you," and like obviously I was the only one who played it.
Yeah.
So you never got one of those girly games for the console?
No, I think they got me like one game that came with the thing, and after that I had to buy my own because I was like already working when I got it. Like I had a paper route and stuff back then, so like. Oh yeah, I remember the first time I went and bought like they were like, "Oh, we bought you this good system," and that was like the first like real system I think they had actually bought, and then like we went like after Christmas to go like to a game store to get games for it. I was like, "Oh, I want to buy like 2 games," and like I forget if the games they just jumped from 40 to 50 or something like that on the
shit.
Dreamcast. Like they used to be 40 on the
Wow.
PS1 or something, whatever it was, PS2, and they jumped to like $50 for the Dreamcast. And I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna get these 2 games." It was like some racing game and something else. It was like $100 for 2 video games, and it's like back then they were like, you're retarded. Like, why are you like why are you spending $100 on 2 video games? And I remember like they were just so surprised that like that was like the thing, like how much money that they were actually were.
That does seem like, even though it's like almost the same now, it seems like so much more back then for
I
something
know.
like that.
I remember it was like
Because like
Because it was a
something
lot
like what you-
less.
yeah, and to think what you like get though too, like
yeah.
a $60 game now is you get way more
It's a
than
beast, yeah.
$50, $60. Yeah, it's just,
But
So
back then it was
seems like
different. I would get
overpriced.
like, a random game that like, had like a 3-hour story mode, but then you would play multiplayer like a billion times.
Deer
'Cause, like,
Hunter 5.
you know what I mean? Like when you were younger, you would like the repetitiveness is less. I feel like when you get older, you get way more sick of games easier than when you're younger. Like you have one
Yeah.
game, you'll just play the game every day for like a year. You like you don't even care. So like you get more out of
Well,
it,
also
even though it
because,
was
like,
less. Like
I feel like when you're younger and you're playing some of these games, you're just like not as good. So you just
True.
like you're not like actually like beating the game. You're just playing the game. Like even if you're like losing, you're just playing the game and you're happy with it.
that's true.
I can just imagine like a little version of Tim, like Tiny Tim, playing the video game.
Just getting
and
pissed
just
off.
So mad, screaming, squeaking everywhere.
I don't know. I don't know when the rage began, but
Maybe Guitar Hero. I remember you used to get pretty mad at that.
I don't know.
I don't think you broke a
I
guitar.
don't
Like
think it was that bad. Yeah, I was saying I don't think it was that mad. That was just probably just
No,
frustrating.
honestly,
but
you
not, like,
you probably
bad.
didn't start getting super mad on games until like
It was like
FPS
Animal
multiplayer type
Crossing and
stuff.
shit.
Yeah,
Tim
like
would get
Xbox
pissed off in
360.
Animal Crossing.
Yeah, I never played that.
I feel like people don't really rage until you like multiplayer. Like no one in single player is like
Yeah.
raging. You might get mad if you keep dying or whatever, but it's like
Oh, you know what? There's one game.
He knows.
Well, no, not Dark Souls because that's later on. But I used to play. Actually, it was really fun. The Ninja Gaiden. It was like Ninja
oh
Gaiden
yeah,
2, I
yeah, that's a
think.
fun
Oh,
game.
It
360.
didn't have multiplayer. It was just a straight single player game.
That was on Xbox
That
One,
game was
right?
super fun,
Well, not,
but it was
not
hard.
one. Fucking stupid name.
No, I had it on. I had one on 360. The second
Was it?
one. The original.
the
Ninja
original
Gaiden
one was on like the
probably
first
one.
Xbox.
Yeah, Xbox, but like I had the second one after the second one or something. But I think that game I got pretty mad because it was a hard game. That was a very it was difficult to play. So I think that game I can remember getting mad at that one. But and some Mortal Kombat
Yeah.
games were annoying too. But
So I just remembered actually to jump back to the Christmas thing. So Christian was saying like him and his brother got different consoles. Like I remember when I got the Dreamcast, I went to like my best friend back in the day who used to live like right next to my parents' house. And like the next day he came over and was like, "What'd you get for Christmas?" And I was like, "Oh, I got a Dreamcast." He's like, "Oh, I got an N64." And we were like, "Oh shit!" So like we actually had like the pairing of like the systems that were out at the time. So even though it wasn't like my brother in the same house, it was kind of cool. Like right next door, the guy like I used to hang around with. That we both had like the different versions. So like obviously Sega and Nintendo were like completely different. So it was kind of cool. We got
the
to
guy.
do both.
The guy you used to hang around with, and you're like a little kid. You're like hanging out with this like 40-year-old guy.
Yeah, that's normal, right? No, he was like
Playing
1
games.
year older than me, but I just said guy. But all right, well, all right. So going back to the actual question. So Tim, like, what do you think is like thinking back like a big memorable thing aside from like consoles? Is there anything that sticks out?
Like a Super Soaker or something.
That's how I have a bad memory, especially like my childhood. That's hard. I can't remember anything. Wow, I don't know yet. You gotta give me a second.
Well, you got that drum set that you ended up selling, making a profit on.
It was not a profit, but
Well, you
That
didn't
was-
buy it. It was
that was
completely
later
all
on.
profit.
I
So
guess,
yeah, that was
but
profit.
that was
Profit to
later-
you.
That's later on though. I would always ask for a drum set, and then I would get a drum set, and then I would like
Never play it.
never do anything with it, and then like a while after I'd ask for a drum set again. I did that like 3 times, but man, I don't know. Maybe like
I'm trying to think back like what you actually got for Christmas over the past
I know
15 years.
maybe like a skateboard
I was gonna
It's
say
like,
a skateboard
when
was a
I
good one.
first, because like that's probably when I like, because they're kind of expensive, like nice one, but then like I got like a crappy one or something. But I think when I first like got like a decent skateboard and like got into skateboarding and stuff, that's probably a big one. Just because it like changed, not like changed my life, but like got me into like this whole new thing that
Yeah.
took up a lot of my time for a while, which
Mm.
something like that.
You got like a lot of like IOU things too, where it was like, oh yeah, we got you a new bike, but in a couple of weeks we're gonna go to the
Yeah.
store and we'll buy it and build it
And
there.
I get to pick, I get to pick out. The
Yeah,
bike
so it's
or
like you didn't
something
actually
like
get a
that,
bike for Christmas. You just got like
Yeah.
the promise of a of a bike,
Yeah.
which I mean is good. Like if you get to pick it out yourself, type of thing, versus like
Yeah.
getting some pre-built thing.
Mhm.
So sort of like the picking it out yourself leads to my Christmas gifts that I didn't
Yeah,
like,
that's what I was gonna say.
which was
It's a
like
good lead in.
clothes. Every time somebody got me clothes, I'd be like, I'd hold it up, take pictures. Wow, this is great, and I'm never gonna wear this.
Yeah,
Thank you
pretty
so
much.
much. Like I hate when people buy me shoes.
Oh yeah, shoes is a weird one.
Yeah.
Like
shoes
I
are
don't
weird.
like those. I'm not gonna wear those.
I I don't think everyone's ever bought me shoes, but for clothes wise, I've definitely gotten like a sweater or something like that. I'm like, oh, okay, like I'll put it in my closet, I guess, and donate it in 4 years when people forget.
I've been lucky with that. Like I never got
a sweater.
Yeah, I never got shoes, but like my brother and sister and stuff, like they're always kind of like, you know, like not similar style, but like they knew what I like. So I was always get like nice
Yeah,
sweaters.
but you were,
that, like
but you were
I
getting,
would almost like look forward to like getting nicer.
but they were,
clothes.
but you were getting bought clothes from people that were like in the sort of the same generation, right? Like Brian's probably
guess.
talking like
Oh,
an
yeah,
aunt or a
yeah. Like
grandmother.
My
Yeah.
grandmother got me
Yeah.
like slippers one time.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Like
rest,
I never
rest in
got.
peace, but geez, you know, slippers.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
I never. Yeah, I never.
Yeah, like
got,
if your
like,
grandmother went out and bought you like a pair of pants and shirt, Tim, like guaranteed you probably wouldn't be wearing it.
that'd
You'd be like a
great.
turtleneck.
It's like up to here.
Yeah,
Probably worse than
that'd
that.
be funny.
I got like I don't know what kind of sweaters that you call them, but like
Sweater.
they're like the really fluffy, like on the outside. Like I don't know.
Oh yeah, like a wool like.
Yeah, almost like a wool sweater. And I was just like, I had to put on a smile, but like I was so disappointed that I got that. I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna wear this right now. I put it on and I'm like itching myself to death.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
It
think
was
clothes is
just-
definitely like always a weird one. I was trying to think of like you said, the worst gifts. I mean, what? I mean, like growing up, like I feel like I usually got a lot of like generic type gifts. Not like a generic gift, but like if I wanted something, I would get the generic version of it type of thing. You know what I mean? Like if I wanted like, oh, I want like a freaking Tony Hawk skateboard, I would get like some weird Walmart skateboard type
Walmart,
thing.
yeah.
And I remember I was always like kind of bummed because I was like, oh, I want this ridiculously priced thing, knowing that it's probably like not practical. And I would get like the cheaper thing, but then I would always like super enjoy like the cheaper
Yeah.
thing. So like I don't want to like rag on that concept of it because it is like what's available at the time. But because I remember like I would always be just, like
Call them out, Scott. Call them out.
I would always be like sort of like when I first started like disappointed, but then like I remember like that one skateboard that I was referring to, like I actually did get some random one I've never even heard of. It was like I don't even know what it was. I used the crap out of that thing, probably more than I used like the actual like $100+ skateboards I bought myself. Again, probably back to Tim's point, like I didn't know how to skate, so I was just like riding around on it. Like once you finally know how to skate, you really mess up your board a lot more. But yeah, I was always like happy with like those generic things. So I can't think of like anything specific, or I was like that was like the worst gift
I
ever.
think when you get something that either like you already have and the person didn't know you already had it, or it's like kind of what you wanted, but it's like a different version of what you wanted, and you like open it and then you just get like right when you see it, you're just like like you have that feeling like shit.
Shit.
like you feel like sad because like it's not what like you wanted, but also like you feel bad for the person because you don't want to say it, you don't want to tell them.
Yeah, but you like
That they
even,
got you.
even as
And
a
you're like,
kid, you
"Oh,
feel like
fuck."
trash because you're like, wow, I feel like a douche that I'm mad that I just got this
Yeah.
gift.
Yeah, it's just like you don't know what to do. It's
I
like,
remember
oh.
one time my dad, I wanted the new Madden game at the time. So my dad got it for me.
Like the wrong
And then
console.
later on in the day, we opened up gifts at my cousin's house. My cousin got Madden for me. And I was like, oh my god, this is awesome, thanks. Oh my god. It was like,
Yeah.
fuck.
It's so awkward too. Like you don't know what to do because you like feel bad. You don't want to like tell them you already have it.
Yeah. Oh,
Just like
I remember
secretly
having like
return it and, like,
double action figures of like certain guys. Just like, oh, now I got 2 of these guys. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, like getting gift cards is another thing where like you get one to a store that you don't go to.
Oh yeah.
Coles or something.
Yeah.
Coles gift card, JC
Oh,
Penney.
those I'll go to Kohl's. But like, I remember
Yeah.
getting like gift cards, and I was like, to like a random restaurant. I was like, I've never even heard of this restaurant. Something like that. It sits in your
like
drawer.
not even in your, like not even in this.
The
Long
closest
John,
one's
Long
like-
John Silver's or something.
Yeah, it's like 200 miles
Long
away.
John's. Long John's, so-
Because back in the day, like Sears and stuff used to sell video games, but they don't sell them anymore. But like I would
Yeah.
be like, man, I hope it's a Sears card because I can go get like an N64 game or something, or like a skateboard or anything like with toys. Like, but like a place with just clothes, you're like, I don't want anything.
They're like, oh, you got a $10 to Bed Bath and Beyond. You're like, what?
You guys ever heard of the game Cribbage?
I've
It's
heard
like
of
a
it,
card
yeah.
game with little pegs that you move. So, anyways, I used to go to
Oh,
my
yeah.
grandfather's house all the time and play that during like non-Christmas time, just like
Normal,
all year.
yeah.
And so that year he got me a cribbage board, I'm like, wow, thanks. Who am I gonna play this with? My mom? Like, I only come over here and play it with you, and you already have one. So,
But see, that's sad
thanks.
because he probably thought it was like an awesome idea because he's like, oh, he loves
Yeah.
to play this game, but not realizing like
Yeah.
he likes to play with me. Like, yeah,
It was a nice thought.
that's what I mean.
Obviously,
It's like a
but I
nice
was just
thought, but like, but yeah,
"Woo."
it sucks when you think about it. You're like, well, now I can't even use this what he bought me.
Yeah.
I hate those gifts.
I hate those things.
That's why I asked for money.
Yeah, I know. I feel like when you grow up too, it's just like Christmas gets harder and harder, and it's just like you like I like to give people things, and I like to like, you know, I'd rather give than get, but like, it's just so hard to like. What I don't know what anyone wants anymore. Like you said, people just get what they want, and it's like, I don't
Yeah.
want to just get like something. Someone's like, oh, I want this. Like, okay, you get that.
I know. It's like, what's the point of that? It's like
hard to like.
yeah, like making lists
Yeah,
and
put
stuff
any
is
thought.
like it sucks. Like, oh, I want this, and someone gets it for you. Like, thanks for just doing my chores for me. You know what I mean? Like, you
Yeah.
like
Yes.
you went out and did my freaking shopping for me. I guess it's like not really a
Yeah.
gift. It's just like exchange of money. So it
Well,
is
well,
weird when you get to that point. But at the same time, it's like, what do you like without doing like? I feel like experiences are better if you like. Oh, look, I got you this thing, so we can go do this event or go do this thing.
Mhm.
Obviously, this year is like we're completely awful for that. But I feel like that's the
Yeah.
only thing you can really like surprise somebody with, because like if they didn't ask for it and it's not some cool like experience adventure thing, it's like, are they gonna care about this thing you just spent money on?
Imagine getting somebody like Celtic or like tickets to a concert or like a sports game or something this year, and then it gets shut down again. Like that's so bad. I would feel so bad.
Like give somebody the
I'll-
tickets for concerts that's already been canceled.
All I can say is like people nowadays don't know how it feels back in the day, how hard it was to get a gift. Now it's like, just like Scott said, Amazon's like the only thing that like helps so many people these days. Like everything online, like we didn't have online, me and Scott, but like it started to improve little by little, and then like people can get things just by just a ring of on their phone, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean that's funny you
call-
say.
call Amazon.
No, it's funny you say the
Before you,
Hello.
No, it's funny you say the phone because like
What?
back when I was younger, like there was actually like
Yeah.
toy catalogs that you had to call in
yeah,
and place your
yeah,
order
yeah.
on. Like you couldn't
I
even
remember that too.
You couldn't even go to the store. It would be like JCPenney,
Yeah.
which would have no toys in the store, but they would have a toy catalog that you would have to
Yeah.
call in your order,
I remember
and it would
that.
get dropped to the store, and you'd have to go pick it up. Like, so yeah, it's true.
I
It's not just like
remember-
adults. It's like in general, like things are just easier to get, and there's so many more things in technology. Where it's like back in the day, kids had way less back then than they do now. Every kid has like so much crap now.
Every
That's
kid
not-
plays Fortnite on
Yeah, it's
their
not
new
necessarily
Xbox
a
or
good thing.
PlayStation.
yeah.
Every kid's got like whatever, you know.
But like, I feel like we
They
should.
want.
All the adults should just like act like kids, because I remember like we got Landon like this like a Spider-Man action figure thing, and then like for Christmas like a year ago, I think my aunt got him the same exact one, and he opened it. He was like, I already have this one. Just he wasn't even done like unwrapping it. He was just like, I already have this one. Yeah, I have it at home. I play with it at home. He's like, this is a second one. This is like another one on top of the one I already have. And he just kept like saying it. And we're like, okay, it's fine. Like now you have two. You're fine. And he just kept going off about it. But it's like, I wish adults would just keep that like that who gives a shit like attitude. You get like a shirt, you're like, oh, this shirt fucking sucks.
This is disgusting.
Like you get a shirt, you're just like, is this it? Really? Okay. Is there anything else?
I'm gonna do that this year. Serena gets me something. I'm just gonna fucking throw it.
I get it, but that's
Next.
also just so mean.
That's so me, but like imagine how awesome Christmas would be if like adults acted
That'd
like
be
kids.
awful. Everyone would be so sad.
Like,
You
oh,
ever,
wow, thanks. You couldn't put a little extra effort into this, asshole.
But when you put that topic where adults should be more like kids, like, is it those times where you see a kid get something and you go to them and start playing with their stuff?
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
punched a little kid and take his toys.
He's like, let me see that.
Yeah, I mean nowadays like the kids are getting toys. I'm like, man, that looks so cool. I want to go. I'm gonna go play with this kid's toy versus like this gift card. Oh, I got a gift card. I'm gonna float around the air. Like,
For me,
This
I
is
always
good.
wanted the wrestling rings. I never could
Yeah.
get
Yeah.
one, like a wrestling with a bunch of wrestlers. Like
yeah,
I would
the
just,
action figures.
I would get
yeah.
a pizza box, put like 4 pencils on each corner,
Dude,
put
that's-
rubber bands around it,
Yeah,
and
that's
I'm
pretty
like,
good.
here you go.
dude, I legit
Play with
did
Yeah.
exactly that at my cousin's house. Like, That's like back when like wrestling was like a cool thing and not like
Yeah.
not to like shit on people that like
Stupid.
wrestling, but it
Nah.
just doesn't have the same
Yeah,
like
stupid.
No, it's stupid.
it doesn't have the same like I don't know entertainment value that it did when we were younger, like when like the the Rock and like the big wrestlers were like really popular back then. Like I wanted like the ring and all the guys and stuff, and we used to make like our own ring out of like fucking anything.
Remember the dolls that like when you hit them they start making noises.
Yeah.
They're like the smash them dolls. They're not dolls. They're like
robots.
pillows.
Oh,
that,
yeah.
Like when you smash them,
Oh,
because
yeah,
they made
okay.
it for kids that like want to
Like
be
actual
like
wrestle
wrestlers.
with.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what he's talking about.
So-
I just remember like as a kid,
It's exactly like that.
kind of with the wrestling too, but I remember like I used to spend so much time like on the setup of playing. Like when you think of like one like action figure style playing for like the wrestling thing, we would spend like an hour like at my cousin's house. We'd set up this fucking ring. We'd have like this cardboard coming down from the stairs with like a walkway. We'd get like a tape ready to play the entry music, and we'd like get it all set up. And then we're like, oh, let's play. And then like we just be like, then just like
Play for like 2
yeah,
minutes.
and then we like go do
stop.
something else. It was like the idea of playing with it was cool, but it's like, oh, I don't actually want to like fucking be the actors. I just want to like. I wish they did it themselves. I remember like so
I
many
used to-
times I would play, or I would like do so long to set up, but then just not actually play after that.
Yeah. I
Remember-
used to play with sorry.
I remember actually like setting up an actual like some ghetto ring in the backyard of my house with a bunch of like ropes, and then I would have one of the wrestling belts that I got from one of the events I went to, and my cousin was like, "Here, you want this?" And he's like, "All right, sweet." So he bought me this like Stone Cold Steve Austin belt, and then I would use that and be like, "I'm the champion." And then they're like, "Oh, how about we set up a wrestling ring?" And then we, just like I said, like it would be some
Fight each other.
makeshift stuff with like trash cans and stuff.
Yeah, but you probably got wrecked because your brother and your cousin were both bigger than you.
That's true. I'll be like a Rey Mysterio.
Right? You're talking about Gio?
Yeah.
Yeah. They were both like way older than you. You probably didn't walk away with the belt.
Yeah.
I remember I used to, those little green army plastic soldiers?
Yeah.
Like one of them would have a bazooka and all
Yeah.
that.
Mhm.
I used to ask for those, and I would ask for like the tan ones and the green ones.
Set up like a
I'd
war.
set up like a little war, yeah. And I'd
Yep.
like flick the guys over when they got shot and killed.
Dude,
Oh,
where does
man.
that
I used to those.
where does
I
that
used to those.
imagination go, man?
You ever actually make your own toys? Like for me,
Nope.
I would have like the Spider-Man toys or like Captain America, X-Men, and then I'm like, oh man, I wish I had like a spaceship of some sorts. I would get like
Carved them out of wood.
yeah, I would cardboard
Yeah.
or like the bottles, 2-liter bottles of
Oh,
Coke.
yeah, I get
Okay,
it.
yeah. If
And
you talk
just,
like
like-
spaceships, not like, oh, here's Spoonie and here's fucking,
Yeah, not like
No.
making a toy. You're making like accessories and using
Yeah.
other things to play with toys.
yeah, here's empty freeze pop plastic piece.
There's a rapper. It's just an empty like
He's just
mix
fighting.
wrap
It's like a rapper fighting Stone Cold. You're like, fucking.
just suffocating him. Oh, he's on his head. You're just like suffocating him with a bag. I used to play with a lot with one of my really good friends when I was like a kid up in camp. Like we kind of went through these phases where we played like Tech Deck. We
Yep.
played so much with Tech
I
Deck.
was gonna bring that
and
up.
then GI Joes, and also like the Crash Dummies. We would play for
never did
hours with
Crash
those
Dummies.
things.
Oh,
Like
man.
we always
wanted
them.
to
And
own
they
the,
would make
like,
a mess, but
the original Crash Dummy sets, like
we had
the
some nice
cars
ones.
and stuff.
Yeah, we had full, like they were big. They were like this big, like full cars. We had I had an SUV one, like a car, like a tour bus thing that like a ramp. Like we had
Wow.
so many because like each year we would come back, we'd go back to camp and we would like buy stuff over the summer that we'd play with. Like we would play hours and hours, and we'd play with the GI Joes and the Crash Dummies. We'd have them fight like the GI Joes versus the Crash Dummies. Like we'd play for hours with that stuff.
See, I feel like
I used to love my.
we overlapped a little bit on the tech decks because like that
Yeah.
was huge for me, but I was probably way younger than you were when you were playing
Yeah.
them. Because I remember like I had like it was like a fun box, right? Where it's like the center
Yeah, it's
is
like-
tall and like the
Yeah,
four
yeah,
sides come up. Was like grind rails, stairs
Yeah.
and stuff. So it was like I had like it was
Yeah.
literally like fucking this big. It was huge.
Big plastic set,
Yeah,
yeah.
and like
Yeah,
but like I still feel like at the age that I was at, like I was in like a weird collecting stage. Like I swear I had like fucking 50 tech decks with like a
I had
huge
so
like
many.
like I think it was like an actual hardware container that my dad had bought that had like
Mhm.
wheels and trucks and bolts and like
You had the
things.
little tools.
Yeah,
to
little
fix
tiny
them.
like tire iron thing. And like me and my friend, we were like trade wheels. We're like, oh, you have a cool like tech deck that would go good with green wheels, and we would like trade. Oh, I'll give you my orange wheels so you can match the wheels on this one. And we would just collect like the because when we were getting them, there was like the boards were specific to like the skaters that were out. So like Bob Burnquist would have like he would have like four boards,
Majera,
and you had
all
to
that.
get like his 4 boards to like have his full set, and like the guys back then. And I collected so much. We used to play like a lot too, but like we used to play like 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 little kid that don't know what they're doing, just like flipping it up, fucking throwing it across the room, like not actually playing like doing skateboarding tricks. We just like just throw
like
it.
for me,
Yeah.
like I was
you run
I
to
was
the other
lucky
side of the
enough
room
to
and catch it.
to actually get a tech deck, like one, like to start off. But like I had like the generic ones you get in a Happy Meal or something like that. Yeah, it's like
You
a
got a
plastic
tech deck
one.
and a Happy Meal?
Yeah, they used to have them, but instead of having like grip tape, it would be
I
like
remember
a
those
single
ones.
piece of
I
plastic.
remember those
Yeah.
ones.
Yeah, I had
Yeah.
those. I used to have like
Oh,
Pokemon
man.
ones that came in like
I
a 6-pack
remember-
that were like $1, and they were so cheap, but like you didn't care if you were like 7.
Yeah.
I remember they made actual wooden ones, wooden tech decks.
I had some. I had one I remember a lot. That was my favorite one. It was Element
Yeah.
one. It was like that like iconic Element board where it had the logo and Element, like the black,
I
white, and red.
forget the
And it
brand
was
of mine, but
nice.
it was a wooden one, and it had red trucks on the bottom and like weird color, not a weird color, but a certain color wheel. I don't know what the hell it was, and it was just fucking awesome. And it was
That's cool.
I just loved it. It was my favorite one. I never used it
like-
because I didn't want to destroy
See, I
it.
think that
I
came
used it so
came
much like
after.
that-
We didn't. It probably like, or maybe I
Other
just
brands.
got older by the time, but you guys probably had like way nicer versions of them. I used to
Yeah.
have like the mini
Like-
BMX bikes too.
Yeah.
Those-
Yeah, I
Yeah.
had some of
And-
those.
It was
and
from
I had
like the tech
scooters,
deck
I had little
line,
scooters,
and like I would use it
have
like
to
do
go buy a
tail
tech
whips and
deck.
stuff. It was so goofy, but
Yeah,
like
you-
it's cool.
You ever had the
I'm
Razor
about to
one?
buy a tech deck right now.
Yeah, the scooters. The Razor.
Yeah.
I had one of those.
That was
yeah.
that was so weird. Like you couldn't even barely do anything with that.
I think at my parents'
But-
house, like somewhere in the basement, there's probably like a plastic bag that's like
I-
molded that has all my tech decks in it.
I gave what I had to my nephew.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't know. Even what I had wasn't as much as I like. I don't know what happened to all the stuff. But
Some
I only
probably
gave
I
all my
had so
Rams and
many.
stuff.
Thrown away or something.
I still have my tech decks though. Like my my crash dummies. They're still somewhere.
See, I never.
yeah,
That was
all
like
my crash
that was
dummies.
after me.
I think. I don't know. But in
Crash
Bionicles,
Dummies? That was a little older than that.
They
Maybe,
were-
maybe
no,
not
they
after
were-
me, but
they
maybe I
were-
just didn't
They
like.
came back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Even tech decks, it's like they kind of just stayed. But like crash dummies, like my brother and sister used to have like the very first ones, but then they got
Yeah.
rid of them, and then they like came back out again, and then I got all the new ones. Like they came.
Everything.
Back
I feel like everything dies down, then gets popular again.
That's
Yeah.
just
people
that's
miss
just
it.
everything. Like nostalgia, like with movies and shows, everything comes back.
But I could tell you this: Power Rangers would be like the ultimate thing that everyone had.
I mean, I watched
I
the first
I
season.
never had a Power Ranger.
You never had any Power Rangers? Wow.
No,
I
that
don't
was
know if I had, but I had the knife thing. I think the Green Ranger,
the
and
flute.
it was like his
Yeah.
like, yeah, I had that thing.
Dude, I
love
watched the
that thing.
very first like season of Power Rangers live after school when I was in like elementary school, which is like between first and fourth grade. I forget what grade I was in, but like I was watching it live every day when I came home from school. So like that was prime
Live every day.
my age.
I love that show, man.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
It was cool back then.
It's so bad now, but it's so cool.
It was so corny back then, but it was like just awesome back then. But something that just came to mind is like a not necessarily a bad gift, but probably like a underwhelming gift once you start using it. It's like I don't know if you guys ever got them, maybe meant for Christian, but like you ever see like the things that you could like make stuff with, like I'm trying to think of what the guys' versions.
Mr. Potato Head.
No,
Lincoln Logs.
no, like food type things. So, you know, like the girls have like
Legos.
the
What?
oven thing.
Oh,
Easy Bake Oven.
Like like girls have like easy bake oven. Like guys always had like weird ones where you could make like
Like a
Hot
tool
Wheels?
bench.
you can make like little like insect things. Like you can make like creepy,
creepy
yeah, creepy crawlies, right? Is that what it's called?
You
Yeah,
like
but
pour
it
the
was-
thing,
I
you
would
like
say
bake
that
it,
was a-
and it's like a little thing.
I would say Hot Wheels would be the top thing that.
No, I'm trying to think of
Yeah.
like those things. It's like yeah, you get like serum or like syrup or something like
Yeah.
that, and you like pour it in this
Yeah,
thing, and you
they
gotta like
still have
bake it in this little fucking fake oven thing.
Yeah.
And you make like these little like wiggly worms.
Yeah.
I remember using it, and I was like, "Ah, this is so cool." You see that commercial, and you use it, and like you make these like little squiggly insects, and you're like I don't know what the fuck to do with these things. And then you just never make them again, and then they all get dirty, get thrown away. And it was like probably like a
remember the
$50
ones
thing. It was just I remember it
that,
being
like,
so
you-
stupid.
I remember the ones you threw in the tub or the water, like a
Oh yeah.
Oh, and they
bucket
get
of
big,
water,
right?
and they would expand. Yeah.
Oh, those little creature things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember I've seen
Expand.
those, but
So
yeah,
weird.
the one I'm talking about is like it's all with a machine. I think it was like creepy
No, no, no.
crawlies.
It
I
is
know what
creepy
he's talking
crawlers.
about. That's one
Yeah,
of them,
but I remember it was so underwhelming because like after the first time you're like I'd never want to really do this again. But it was probably like a $50 machine that like your parents buy you like, oh, this is so cool, and then like it's awful after the first time. You just have these like little fucking jelly insects around the house.
So the one thing I wish I had when I was a kid was Legos.
I had Legos.
Yeah, I had a
I
ton
wish
of Legos.
like my mom couldn't even get me Legos. She's like, you don't need those. You gotta choke them. You gotta lose them.
Yeah,
You're gonna choke 'em.
But I just had like Legos. Like kids now have like so many awesome Legos. Like I'll go down the Lego aisle if I'm in the store and I'm like, oh my god, I want to buy like half of these. Like they're so cool.
Yeah.
There's like sets, like you make things. Like,
Yeah.
like they give you specific Legos. Like I remember just having like random ass pieces and
Yeah.
I would put shit
I
together.
would just have like a box of Legos and I would make towers that I would use like my other action figures to like play on. So like Legos back then were fun,
Yes.
but they're not as fun as like
See
some of
that.
like the cool sets. Like even if you don't build like what it is, like there's like all these Marvel sets and like I seen one that had like this crazy Venom thing. I'm like, man, it looks so cool. I just want to build it and put it on my desk.
One thing I remember when I was little, it's that little I don't know what the hell you call it, but it had like little plastic. I don't want to call them needles, but they were like little pins, and they would go up and down. You could like
The
press it
screen
against your
thing?
face.
Yeah.
You press it against your face, and it would mold
Yeah.
your face.
Yeah, you could like
It's like a
you
piece of
put your middle
glass and
finger
then it
on
has all the
it.
things. And you,
Yeah, that
everyone
thing.
does that. In the
yeah,
stores.
yeah, at the
In the
stores.
store, the whole aisle would just be like a bunch of middle fingers.
Yeah, you just hide them.
I used to love
Or the
those
easy
things.
sketch.
Oh, the etch a
Etch-a-sketch?
sketch,
Etch-a-sketch.
Etch-a-sketch,
Whatever.
yeah.
I can get the generic one. So
easy sketch.
I used to be
Easy
into
sketch.
yo-yos too. I was a good. Not I wasn't good, but I
I
used
saw
to
my yo-yo.
do
I had this one.
yo-yos.
oh
I've
man,
had a
remember
couple.
the they were like blazing something like that, or
Blazing. Buffalo
no, they had
wings?
different ones.
Yo-yos?
Blazing
Yeah.
Buffalo wings.
Brains.
Oh, I don't know.
If you open your
Maybe.
gift, there's just an
the
old,
ones that you just
crusty,
throw
cold
down and
buffalo
they just
wing.
stand there, and then they just come up by themselves. Fireball.
It sounds familiar, but I'm not sure.
Yeah,
So-
they have
so
buffalo wings
they-
for Christmas.
So they had these special yo-yos
Yeah.
that like each one will be like one's fireball where it goes down pretty fast and you,
No, I know.
do
I
tricks
think I
pretty
know what you're
easy.
talking about now.
And then the brain one was just there, just standing there, and it comes back up by itself without you doing anything.
I think that sounds familiar. They made like like special.
Dude, it was a big thing when I was.
Do you guys ever
When I
get
was
the
like-
thing
Yeah.
where it was like it was two sticks?
Ugh.
You hold like two sticks, and then you get like a third stick,
Oh.
and you gotta like juggle the third stick.
No, that's like
called,
when you were like.
Outdoors
I think
Fun.
that's like when you were like a pilgrim. You
No,
used to play with
you ever
those.
seen that? It's like you hold like two like kind of looks like
Yeah, I've
drumsticks.
seen them in like the history books, and like also
You
you have
fucking-
you get a stick too. You get a stick and a hula hoop, and you'd have to like hit the hula hoop down the street.
I mean, yeah,
with the
I
stick.
had hula hoops when I was younger
Yeah.
too. No, it's like I'll just show you, but it's like you have like you hold,
I know what you're talking about. You like hit them back and forth.
yeah, you just have like a longer stick, and you have like two sticks, and you like
Yeah.
juggle the third stick.
Yeah.
But like you watch the guy in the commercial, and the dude was like doing like
Ripping on the
freaking
thing.
like parkour as he's doing it, and he's like he's nasty at it, and you
Yeah.
get it, you just like throw it like once, and it's like
Yeah.
I remember
dumbest thing.
that old the magic ball. It was like a silver ball, and it looked like people were like
Oh
doing
yeah.
Oh, yeah,
weird
and you,
shit. And
like,
it
go
looked
like
like it was
this.
floating. Then it's a fucking heavy ass ball. I get it. I'm trying to do it. And I drop it on my foot and break my foot.
Yeah, that's like commercials back then. Like, I feel like nowadays, like, there's not even like commercials. I guess you have like internet ads for like random shit, but like back then, like, you would see like a toy commercial. Like, you don't really have toy commercials anymore.
But
Yeah,
it
not
was so
much.
cool when you were younger.
The good old
and then,
days.
like you would open a catalog from a newspaper, like it would just be right inside between the pages.
Oh,
and-
yeah.
Or you go to a store and you're like, man, mommy, I want this, I want that.
Yeah, now it's just
Like,
like, Alexa, add this to my
Alexa,
list.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a very
Schmangle.
different world. Now you're like every kid.
I hope
If you go to Walmart, there's a literally almost an entire like aisle or like half of the aisle for that kid, that YouTube kid, Ryan's Toys or whatever.
Oh, really?
That like he's like
Yeah.
8 years old and he makes like millions of dollars like reviewing toys. He literally has all his own toys, and it's like it's a whole aisle of just like random toys, but it's like his face on it. Like,
That's crazy.
and all these
weird.
kids like want that stuff because like young kids like so impressionable. They see this other kid playing with
Oh.
like this thing, and they all want it. It's just like,
well,
it's like
well, at least it's
dumbest
not
thing.
that stupid egg that you wait to hatch.
Hatchimal?
And then it's like, oh,
Hatchable, yeah.
That was so fucking stupid, man.
That was all like a couple of years ago, though.
Yeah,
You were
but
trying
it
to
was
get
have
so
against
dumb.
If you were,
Hatchables,
if
Christian.
you were a kid, you would.
Yeah, if you're a kid, you
I
like-
Christian got a
love
hatchable. Christian got a hatchable for Christmas a couple years ago.
Yeah,
and
he's so
fucking
mad.
He freaked out.
This shit never hatched.
But it
He's
was
like, this is worse than the moldy buffalo wing that I got.
just comes out with mold and stuff.
This is cold, Mom.
Yeah, it was
Heat it
leftovers
up.
from last week.
Did you guys always get like
Now
the
I want
standard,
buffalo
like the
wings.
socks and underwear, that kind of stuff?
Yeah,
I hated
Sometimes.
I don't know, like, where did that
I
start?
would say I
Like,
like it now though. Now it's like I need socks, please.
it. I need underwear because my underwear have holes in them and shit.
Yeah, and I just don't want to buy new
Brian's
ones.
underwear has
Yeah,
holes
just
and
fine.
shit in it.
You ever get the wrong size? You ever got the
No
wrong
comment.
size?
Serena's like, oh, here's a
Like-
pack of underwear. All your underwear are literally covered in shit.
They were half off.
We're like, well, the hole, I made a hole, so the shit goes through the hole. I don't know what you want me to say.
Now my pants and shorts are just covered in shit.
Jeez.
Oh,
need to
man. How do we always
completely-
end on talking about poop?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. Scott's favorite thing in the world is
Dude,
poop.
poop. Poop is like,
Yeah.
His favorite
So,
topic.
dude, Landon
have you guys
loves
ever-
just poop and butts and stuff, and it's hilarious because
Yeah.
I get in trouble all the time because I like instigate it, and we're like, I probably should not like teach him these things, but like, dude, anything you say and you say like butt, he'll like, he gets like so
And then he just,
excited.
he says it for like the whole day.
Yeah.
Just get hung on
He'll
it.
keep saying that one thing about butts. Like, he just, dude, as a kid, if you're like a little boy, poop and butts is like the funniest thing. Or if you're an adult boy,
Or if you're Scott.
you don't like
You're
poop
a
and butts.
30-year-old man liking poop and butts.
Wow.
Butts.
At least I didn't get a Hatchimal yet
butts.
last year.
Christian.
Wait, I didn't say
He's like,
anything.
God damn it! It's,
Yeah, you
it's in
got
the
a
background.
Hatchimal.
It's like on his couch right there.
It's like, what am I supposed to do with this?
I like that.
It's more useless than a creepy crawler.
He's like freaking out at his grandma. His grandma gave him a hatchable.
I already have one of
Fucking
these,
throw
Grandma.
it.
This is shit.
Throw it at her.
It's the same one.
Did you guys ever like
Good stuff. Good stuff.
get any like magic things aside from like the 8-ball or that magic ball, that thing Brian
Like
was
a
into?
magic
Like
kit?
that was like a big thing that like went through like
Yeah.
my generation, but I never like jumped on it. Cause I remember like I would go to school after Christmas and like everyone would have like all their like magic things in their pockets. That was like when it was cool and like no kid knew how to do it. But like I swear, like half the kids had like magic things, like whatever it was, like pieces of string or whatever they would bring to school after. Like, did you guys ever like get into any of that?
I think I did, but I don't really remember.
I never
know if
got
watched
into
one,
those.
but
I never got in really to the magic scene at all.
You know, like not like Magic the Gathering, but like Magic. Like,
Yeah, no, I know.
Okay.
I think I got maybe like one of those little kits and it had
Okay.
like 5 different things you could do and like
I just remember it like being big when I was like probably like middle school, maybe like 5th, 6th grade type thing. Like I never really
Yeah.
got into it because I never like I guess I never like had the stations to like watch that kind of stuff. But I remember like a ton of kids used to have it, and like at lunch they would all be like trying to do their tricks and stuff, and I was like, I don't know what you guys are doing.
I just be eating their lunches while they're
Look,
trying to
I
do
can
their
poop.
tricks. I just
It's like
be like
making,
stealing mozzarella sticks off their
Yeah.
plate as they're trying to make me disappear or something.
so there's like birds appearing in your soup. You're like, what the fuck, dude? I'm trying to eat and like make
You go to
shit
grab it,
happen.
your hand's just missing. You're like, God damn it, give my hand back.
I'm trying to eat lunch. Like, leave me alone.
You're like, did you see that? And you're like, I don't care, dude. Go away. You're like, this kid is
Dude,
literally like
please.
performing real magic.
There used to be a TV show on Fox that would like have a special every year, and I would like watch it every time, and then they'll teach you the magic trick, and I would
Oh,
actually
yeah.
learn it, and then go back to school and be like, I did this, and they're like, who got that from that show? I'm like, hey, you watching too?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. That might have been like around the same time. Like, I don't know. I just
Yeah.
it was like weirdly, I just remembered like that being like a thing. Cause like every year there was always like everyone got like something similar. Like everyone had their own interest, but like
Yeah.
everyone would be into like a Power Rangers or like something that was out.
Mm.
So like if you went to like a friend's house back in the day, it's like, oh, after Christmas, like they all had some version of that same thing. So I was just trying to remember like what
Tamagotchis.
those are. What'd you say?
Yeah.
Tamagotchis?
Oh, Tamagotchi.
Tim
Yeah,
Magucci.
I
Tamagotchis
guess,
or whatever
yeah.
they're called.
His Gucci bag that he got for Christmas.
Yeah, everyone used to have those little tiny things. They put them in their pocket.
Yeah.
It was just like, it was kind of like pointless. Like literally, the thing just like you feed it, you never fought anybody because that's just not what you did. You just basically, and then you would leave it for like a weekend. You come back and I think shit like 12 times on the screen.
Yeah. You got tickets for walks and whatnot.
It was like this little like thing. It was like
I know, yeah.
pre Game Boy,
Little
and it would just have this
square,
little digital like dinosaur or whatever like version you got. It would have like a little monster on it,
dinosaurs.
and you would just like feed it.
Oh,
You would feed it
alien.
and then let it grow, and then you could like battle other people with it. You connect them together, and you could like battle each
Well,
other.
they haven't got that far yet. They did it like in mid process. They're like, oh, let's do like Digimon had one where you actually evolve it and whatnot, and then you could just like slam them together, not slam them, but like connect them together and just battle each other.
Slam together. See which one breaks. Whoever's toy breaks, you lose, and then the kid cries like, "Ah, my one."
I remember like I never
Smashes
fought
them.
anyone. I just like I would
Ooh.
feed it. The thing would shit on the screen. I would like you like do a clean wipe and the wipe comes across and moves the crap away. And that's like all I did with it. It just made it grow older. It was so stupid.
Growing shit.
So they came out with these little battle bot type things where you can get like different parts for it, and then like you put a card in it and give it to like this new like power or whatnot. And I got
Oh
one.
yeah,
and
yeah,
then-
yeah. And you would
Yeah,
swipe the
that-
thing and you would give it that ability, right? Ah,
Yeah.
Man, I forgot about those. Those are cool.
Yeah. But battle bots used to be. I wish I had one of those.
I
Like
had
they did have
Beyblades.
toys for those.
That's like before like a cell phone game where you just have something that like levels up. Like but think of like
You ever,
like swiping a card was like what leveling up was back
Yeah.
back then. It sounds so
you ever
stupid.
got those
like,
little?
leveling up was not something that was back like heard of back
You ever
then.
got those mini race cars that you get to customize?
Oh yeah.
That
They
sounds
have Fast and
familiar,
Furious
yeah.
ones.
I don't
Wait,
know
the
what
Fast
that
and
is.
Furious ones, how you said?
Yeah, I had this the Skyline,
Uh,
and then you could switch the top of it.
when did the
or
first
change
Fast and
wheels.
Furious come out?
It was a long time
A long
ago.
time ago.
1922.
They were like little RC cars. You get to move
Yeah,
around.
I
with
know
it.
what you're talking about. Yeah, he's looking it up.
I just want to know when the first one
actually
came
looking-
out. Oh,
looking
2001? Oh, shit. So what, we were...
Yeah.
I was 13. You were probably like 13, 14. All right,
It
so I
was
guess
like
that's a decent
mid-freshman year,
age
yeah.
for that. That's a long time
Yeah,
ago.
it was-
Shit.
The baby.
I was a little lad.
I can't do quick maths. Anyways.
That's
6.
You can't just say a number. Like, do quick math, you
That's
just
how
like
old
say
we
a
were.
number.
No, that's at 2001. We were like 6.
Yeah, 95, right?
Yeah.
Damn.
5 plus
we
1.
feel old now.
It seems so weird. Like, when you're younger, the age difference is like... you guys would have been just like infants to us. But like now it's
I
like,
was, like,
it's like, it
dead.
doesn't matter. Like,
I wasn't even alive for half when you were. I was dead when you were alive.
I'm trying to think of something
call
that
it dead, but
he's got
sure.
experience what
What are you?
what Brian and Tim
You're
have
nothing, you're just-
experienced.
You're pre-dead.
You can't be dead if you weren't alive.
How can you
But,
kill a dude
but
with
creepy
no
crawlers
body?
is something that they
How
don't.
can you be
They
alive if
won't
you
know.
never were dead? What?
Scott,
What?
creepy crawlers is something that they
Do
won't
this to
know.
me.
I don't think they were born.
Creepy crawlies? Yeah, that was like fucking young. I was like first grade for
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
I do know. I know what they are though. I think that's they
They
came.
well,
probably
you had
came
an older
back,
brother
but,
there.
like-
That's why.
Yeah.
Because most of the things that my brother experienced, like the Transformers, like the very first ones, like he would teach me those.
Oh, I had some awesome Transformers.
Tho-
Yeah,
those
ours
are
were probably
rare. If you
like
had an
we had
Optimus
like
Prime,
one
cool,
arm
cool.
that fucking like came up, and that's it. And like you
No,
probably
I
had like some ridiculous
I
thing.
still have them. Yeah, I had a tank. It was a full tank
God.
that like went into full tank, and it was like a fucking puzzle trying to get the thing to like go back. Though it was so frustrating
Yeah.
because once you had it in like full robot form, it was like impossible to get it.
Well,
into
Beast
tank
Wars
form.
was something that
But-
I think Tim and
That's not
Brian
Beast
were
Wars, that's
around
for Million,
with
but
the
I didn't
cheetah
have it,
and
but-
stuff
Yeah,
like that.
dude, the original like Beast
I
Wars like
remember that.
cartoon. Oh my god.
I don't even
I
know
remember
what Beast
watching
Wars is.
It's Transformers, but like
no
they're
idea,
animals, and then they turn into
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
the robots instead of like cars into robots. It was like a weird concept, but like when they went to the Beast Wars show, it's like they tried to go like with 3D animation.
Yeah.
So they went from like
It was-
all the
and then
2D
we
drawn
watched it.
normal stuff into like this super crappy like computer generated thing, and like it was so cool, but it was just trash.
But we still watched it.
Yeah, I mean it was awesome back in the day, but
I actually
Good old
remember having
days.
Cheetor, and my brother had Rat Trap.
I probably had. I think I had Rat Trap too. The rat one sounds familiar,
Rat
but
Trap.
Well, I had the second version, the one that when they, it was like not a meteor, but like some electric field came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And then like they kind of transformed him slightly to like a better form. Yeah.
Rat Trap.
I don't know.
Yeah.
You have to watch Beast Wars to understand what I'm talking
No, I know
about.
what you're talking
To
about.
watch Rat Trap.
Anyways.
Anyways.
Well, we sort of like left Christmas and just sort of started talking about just toys and
We're,
gifts.
Gifts.
we're talking about most gifts and
Our
whatnot.
inner child came
I
out of
don't
us.
know. I don't know. Merry Christmas. I
Yeah.
don't know what's
Well,
going on.
Well, what was what's the? All right, so
Hope you
like,
hope
did
you
you
enjoy
guys
your cold
ever
chicken
watch?
wings.
Huh?
What? Well, I think
you
we're
guys
getting
ever
up there. I
watch,
think
like-
we'll probably cut it here before we jump anything else.
I would say Christmas movies or whatever.
No.
Have a safe holiday.
Yeah.
Yeah. Merry
Don't
Christmas,
drive on
Happy
ice.
New Year, Hanukkah.
Don't be a
Kwanzaa,
Grinch.
all the holidays.
Yeah. Be safe. Hopefully you.
Happy
safe.
safe.
I said be
Go get yourself
I said
some.
so. Be safe.
Oh, I heard happy
No, you
safe.
definitely said happy safe.
Happy. I said so. Be safe.
No, you didn't. Happy
Play
All
safe.
right. Well,
Play
happy
the tape
Happy
back.
safe,
happy safe
everybody.
Christmas, everybody. Hope you enjoy it
Merry Christmas.
somehow.
Get a,
It's Christmas.
just
Merry Chrysler.
Merry
Did you see
Chrysler.
that line? That's the vine. Merry Chrysler. It's Christmas. All right, whatever.
All right.
Ready? Hold on.
Cool.
please, happy holidays.
Thanks for
You
tuning
gotta
in.
follow
Feliz
us.
Navidad.
Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Spotify. I'm forgetting one.
Twitch.
That one that I'm forgetting. YouTube.
No, the biggest one. Well, they're watching.
Like,
on YouTube.
like, subscribe,
Yeah,
comment.
or they could be
tell us what
listening.
you'd like. Tell us what you don't like.
True.
We love you.
We
Yeah.
do games. We do podcasts.
Tell me you don't like me.
Yeah.
Who knows? We might
We
do
do it all.
streaming live eventually. Like that's coming in the future. That's projects that we're eventually working
Have
on.
board with the boys.
We're gonna get together eventually. We're gonna start playing board games. We're gonna start doing crazy things. We're gonna start doing concerts
Crazy
and whatnot. Don't worry about it, guys.
we're gonna do
We're getting
crazy
there soon.
things.
2021.
Gonna be
It's all of our
crazy.
years. Let's go.
Yep.
We'll see you in the next
Board with
one.
the boys.
Peace.